Abdusattorov. Jordan's been great so far. We should mention he beat Hikaru Nakamura in that match, for example, and...
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
No, this is the other game.
I think I've seen that before.
Wow.
Okay, some tech issues here.
I mean, it was a great game, don't get me wrong, but...
Deserves an action replay.
Absolutely.
This was the game between Alireza Firouzja and Fabiano Caruana, but now we are at the game between Jorden Van Foreest and Abdusattorov. It's the Queen's Gambit declined, and Carlsbad pawn structure. What do we think of this so far?
Oh, completely boring, but at the same time, it is classical chess. I mean, you said Queen's Gambit declined is the World Championships opening, right? So it's definitely a structure you need to know. The Carlsbad, very easy to play, right? Bishop f5. Black, I think Abdusattorov, great choice. I mean, going with Queen's Gambit decline against somebody as creative as Jordan is, I think it's already pretty equal so far.
Yeah, this line is kind of like the Berlin endgame of 1d4 openings. It's been popular for well over a decade. I know Vladimir Kramnik like this. From the black side, of course, black has the bishop pair, but in return, he's got, you know, a completely ruined king-side structure. I think the latest consensus that white is a smidge better, but black is just so solid. If he knows the defensive plans here, David, I think he'll co-sign this. A lot of these games end in pretty uneventful duels.
Yes, fully agreed. I've looked at this for both colors myself. I've never been brave enough to play it with the black pieces just because I'm a sucker for nice harmonious pawn structures and I hate black's double def pawns. But as you say, if you know the setups, depending on what white does, if you know how to react, then often you are completely fine. The one problem piece for black, actually, it does turn out to be that light square bishop, the black bishop on g6, because often it does get trapped behind your own pawns. And okay, Abdusattorov bringing his bishop out, creating a pin, just saying, okay, I don't need to commit yet. Your white knight on the edge of the board looks nice and pretty. It's on an outpost technically, but you don't have any threats yet. So a very flexible play by black. And I think this is good strategy against Jorden, who often wants those attacking positions, wants that dynamism. And here, it's very slow, very strategic. And Abdusattorov, he's one of a kind.
starting a forest fire here. Van Forest fire with rookie 2 or A2. A2 is too flashy not to play, though.
Yeah, too tempting. 2 minutes, though, for Abdusattorov. And he's choosing which pawn to go for, which pawn to push.
Yeah, this was a hard endgame. This is like Devoretsky page 574. I mean, literally, and then there's 3 chapters on this endgame. Yeah, this is crazy. But
you studied all of those, though, James.
Yeah, of course. No, there's 4 chapters on pawn endgames and 3 on rook. I've only studied those because those are the most common. You don't even get to the queen ones yet, which is another 4 chapters. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Why did you do this, Devoretsky? But it is the best ending game books, of course, obviously.
And A2 on the board, and this is the reason why rook pawn endings can be so fascinating. We're seeing all these tactics and these dynamic balances. He doesn't pick up the A2 pawn. Tricky Jorden, he goes with the rook. He wants to safeguard the F2 pawn. Can he afford to pick it up with his rook?
Oh, that was nice. What a check.
Crazy pawn races here, I've got to say.
You might get an endgame where black has an H pawn and a queen against a queen, and those are actually really hard to save.
Yeah.
Oh, king D3, rook D4.
Just put it on the board. Show it.
Gotta show it.
David.
Oh!
Not gonna happen, but king D3, don't play it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. This is a village.
What geometry spotted by Van Foreest.
Gross.
Yeah, and just to show what you were mentioning there, if in this position, before giving a check, if he had taken this pawn, we would see a crazy race suddenly. Actually, is it that crazy race? The king's coming, the pawn runs. And I think this is the one you meant here.
This is the one I meant, and this would be very hard to hold with no time on the clock, even though it is a draw theoretically.
This is a nightmare to defend in these positions. Right now he's given a check and Nodirbek slows down, so king d3 will not happen, but so easy to fall for that in these time scrambles. He falls back, inviting a repetition.
Yeah, the problem is the black king cannot evade the checks if it runs too far away. White can go for that race that we just showed on the board, racing the pawns, because the black king will take an age to go for white pawn on f2. So it looks like a forced draw. Jorden here just calculating. You can see his eyes just kind of looking one side of the board to the other. He's checking to make sure that race doesn't end well for white. And when he realizes he's going to go for this draw, it's going to be a repetition of moves. What a game it's been, though. Oof. The least boring draw of the tournament so far.
Yeah, of the tournament. Wow.
Wow, with 43 seconds on the clock, we are expecting Nodirbek to go back with his king to d5, and then once again, are we going to see a repetition here? Third time it will be over. Looking at Jorden, I think that's where it's headed. And there it is, king d5. It does end in a 3-4 repetition. The first game ends in a draw.